Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I am your host, the Ranting Monkey. He is the wonderful Mr. Jack. Jack, how you doing tonight?
Doing okay. How are you?
I'm all right. Say hi to the folks.
Hi, everybody.
Oh man, I'm a little bit off my game here because I'm going through the motions of setting up the stream, right? And I am not. It literally just autopilot. I'm listening to music and goofing off, and I look at the time like, holy shit, I actually set up a stream. I need to go do it. So my apologies for that. I'm not late, Jack. Never late, but longer than expected. How about that?
Oh, sure. Let's go with that story.
That's what it was. Yeah, and it really was. My brain's not here. So I'm not planning any like really deep thought tonight. We can talk about the stories that are out there. It's great. That's fine. Oh, the Monk Lantern. Yes, I set that up because remember, guys, Halloween's coming up. Get your shirts. Little shill there.
Nice. Links are in the description.
Links are in the description. And like it, damn it. Give it a big old thumbs up over there on the Rumble. Honk honk. Honk honk to you as well, my friend. Jack, did you see the Canadian Parliament today?
I caught little bits and pieces of it because it was so fucking stupid. I couldn't bother to look into it anymore. The denial and obfuscation is off the charts.
The denial part I expected. What I did not expect, even from politicians in the modern day, was what these idiots actually went through with today or tried to go through with. This is some Canadian chick. I don't know who she is. Some member of their parliament who probably is getting paid for nothing.
That sounds right.
Yeah, she's going to be addressing what happened yesterday. For those of you who missed it, I guess we should go over that. Now I'm just have a big old black screen on the screen. I rewound it too far.
American screen.
Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, Nuts.
So yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. The Canadian Parliament invited a Nazi and cheered him on as Vladimir Zelensky looked on and cheered with him as they stood up to battle Russia. In one of the biggest political blunders I've seen that I've ever even heard of, Jack.
Oh, it ranks up there. That was just a little too on the nose.
And so, of course, they got a lot of pushback, and Justin Trudeau came out and said, it's a bad thing that happened, but we got to make sure we don't let Russian propaganda do anything. Like, they don't have to do anything. You literally clapped for a Nazi, shithead.
Yeah, kind of hard to dodge your way around that one, you know.
The Russian, they don't have to do literally any fucking propaganda here. You did it for them, fucknut.
It's like the Libs of TikTok thing where anything you say being just presented is hateful.
Oh, that's true. That's true. How dare they point out what we did? But they had a plan for that, Jack. They had a plan. Sorry, guys. There will be moments of quiet tonight where I have to mute so you don't hear me go into my ass, Jack. It's for the best.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty bad. I'll be muted occasionally because my toaster oven was going when he sent me the link, of course.
That happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, here's how they've decided to deal with things there in old Canada, or at least the Liberal Party who invited the fucking Nazi. All right.
I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to adopt the following motion. That notwithstanding any standing order, special order, or usual practice of the House, the recognition made by the Speaker of the House of an individual present in the galleries during the joint address to Parliament by His Excellency Volodymyr Zelensky be struck from the appendix of the House of Commons debates of Thursday, September 21st, 2023, and from any House multimedia recording. Thank you.
So if you guys didn't follow along with what she said there, they want to just erase it from their history, strike it from the record like it never existed, including multimedia. So no videos or anything from it in there. That just didn't happen. Didn't happen. Wasn't me.
There was always a war with Oceania. What are you talking about?
Fuck, man. Literally just, hey, by the way, this was shot down because she asked for unanimous consent, and the other party, I don't know what the parties are up there. the ones that are opposing them, they're like, no, we're not giving consent. No, fuck no. It is, look, I watch a lot of political debate. I have never seen a unanimous request thing denied. It happens, of course, but I've never actually got to see it happen. And here it did, because like, oh, hell no. We are going to preserve the fact that you idiots brought a Nazi up here and cheered for him.
Yeah, which should be mocked. I think this is going to be a big win for the opposition party.
Well, later on in this video, they show the opposition party standing up, and the guy goes, you know, those who forget their history are doomed to repeat it. And like, oh, what a perfect time for that to be used. I just want to keep Corinna, I think it said her name was, up here on the screen as we mock these fucking retards. Look, Canadians, I don't blame you for this, especially not the ones who are here, because you guys are, you know, smart. But Canadians, come on, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, they're trying to pull a Stalin on having a Nazi in their parliament. I would just erase him from the photographs.
Well, it's kind of on brand for them,
I guess. Just get the big eraser out. That never happened. Well, the internet's not a thing, you guys. How do you strike something like that from the official record? I mean,
apparently pretty easily.
How about this? And I wouldn't mind this. How about getting up there and saying a unanimous resolution to condemn what happened yesterday? That would be probably a lot of support for that.
I think they're more pro censorship.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that. You're right. This is Canada, so yeah, just censor that shit. Get it right out of there. Keldrick, why are all these spokespeople literal Karens? Well, in fairness, she's not a spokesperson. She's an actual member of the government.
Which, let's face it, that's worse. She does have that Karen look, though. Like, well, excuse me.
This is probably going to get me in trouble with the women. You women, you know I love you out there, right? You know. But the kind of woman that goes into politics is just gonna be a Karen, left, right, or center. It's who it's gonna be. Because they care, Jack. They got to make sure everything's done how they want it done. Just like the men in power tend to be power-hungry shitbags. Power-hungry shitbags and Karens working together to make a brighter tomorrow. That's not good for anybody. Oh, for fuck's sake. Canada. Listen to me. Listen. You guys fucked up. Just come out and say, we fucked up. We're sorry. It was a bad thing that we did. And move on. The more you say about it, the more mockery you're going to get. The more you try to hide it or downplay it, the more mockery you're getting. Just take the whipping that you deserve. You deserve to get whooped on this one. Just take it.
Cannibal explained this a little bit better. Thank you, Cannibalistic Wizard, for explaining this. There's two parties in Canada: those who drink tea with maple syrup and those who suck moose dick.
Ah, okay. All right.
That actually makes a lot of sense to me, so I'm prepared to believe that is the literal truth.
Does the Simeon know that I'm in Canada? Consider telling the truth to be rude, or not know that in Canada it's considered to be rude to... Is it really?
Probably.
Or are you guys just afraid of the truth?
Canada used to be so awesome, and man, they've gone downhill in the last 30 years.
Look, man, we're all the stepchildren, or not the stepchildren, the children of England. You know, us, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. One of them was going to be retarded, right? 1 out of 4 sounds about right to me. That's New Zealand. One of them's going to just be a little slow, and I mean, that's Canada. One of them's going to be just weird, and that's our Aussie friends. And then some of us are going to be, you know, a little bit psychotic, but still okay to hang out with, and that's us. That's how I see it, at least. Prove me wrong. Anyhow.
I don't know. The Aussies are a little psychotic sometimes. So.
They're weird. I don't think they're psychotic. I think they're just weird.
If you had all those things trying to murder you that live on that island, I'd probably be a little weird too.
Sure. I mean, they're the second child. So second child in a group of more than 3 is probably worse than being the middle child. Because you're not only forgotten, but you're the forgotten.
Yeah, you're the one that ends up babysitting the younger ones while getting none of the recognition that the first one gets.
Yeah, and us as the older child, we're a little bit more we had our rebellious streak, of course, but we try to pretend we're more grown up than we are. You know how kids are.
Mm-hmm.
We're the rebellious children. We really are. We rebelled. The Aussies, like I said, I relate to the Aussies a lot. As a middle child myself, I relate. Because middle children, they bitch about, you guys didn't love me. That's not true though. You know what's great about being a middle child, Jack? It's that your parents don't pay as much attention. You get away with so much more shit. Because they're always, riding the eldest child and not fawning over the youngest child. And the middle one's we are forgotten, and it lets us get away with a lot of shit. I'm just saying. It's the way we act. But anyway, Canada's just the slow key, our slow little brother. That's all it is, man.
Well, they're the little narcs too, because they held on to
are.
mommy's aprons way too long.
Exactly, 100%. And technically, they're still hanging on there.
Yeah, but you get out into like the rural areas, and people are still probably pretty badass. Fighting moose with hatchets and stuff. I don't really know what Canadians do anymore, but I know from my experience in Canada, the bigger cities are kind of pussified, but the more rural areas are way more cool and laid back. They're like country folk here.
Remember when you tried to finish off the Brits in 1812 and our farmers and First Nations burned your White House to the foundation? I remember. Remember you guys never standing up to the Brits and just being their little bitch? I remember. Sorry, that was rude. I apologize, my Canadian friend.
Canada used to be a really awesome place. They got to take it back from these pussies in Ottawa.
He didn't say, brag about the White House being burned down. So I feel like I got a right to make that snide ass.
That was mostly the Brits.
Anyway, Canada, what the fuck are you? Seriously, what are y'all doing up there? I just don't have words for this shit anymore.
I'm just shocked that Trudeau and these other people are running things, because my experience with Canadians they were kind of rugged badasses. They're very polite, but at the same time, they're likely to wrestle a bear for fun, not for reasons.
That's fair, I guess.
Yeah, and there's a lot of moose. Have you ever seen the size of a fucking moose?
Oh yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, gigantic. So yeah, plus there's Bigfoot and God knows what else hiding up in there, because a lot of it's unexplored. So they got that kind of like rugged explorer thing going on that we had for the people headed out west. But man, I don't know what happened to Ottawa. Is there like some like pussy juice in the water over there where everybody gets there and they're like, nah, yeah, lift my pinky while sipping tea?
Somebody said it in the chat, and I think it's true. It's probably the French influence.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's the dual language thing.
Look, I mean, the French were, working with the Nazis in World War II.
Right?
Seems to be something they like. I'm just saying.
Yeah, as soon as they went bilingual, shit started going downhill.
Yeah, you never go by, because it makes you gay.
Yeah.
That's going to get us in some trouble.
Sorry,
bisexuals.
Some hitchhiker.
But if you're bisexual, you're gay. Just admit it. All right, now, Jack. I fucked off all day. I really did. I've been arguing over the most retarded shit all day long, Jack. Our old friend Harry Sisson. Harry Sisson is that one annoying 20-year-old shithead who's, go Biden. Of course I'm getting paid by them, but they're not paying me.
Right?
That kid. Well, he claimed the other day that he had received a bomb threat. His school received a bomb threat.
No,
and
I'm not buying that for a fucking second. I saw that thread and God, that was dumb.
I'm going to bring up the actual.
Because that's crazy.
Where's this asshole? It's Harry, J. Sisson, I think. Yeah. All right, now I got to scroll down because this was a couple of days ago. But apparently on the 21st, he was notified by his college, Jack, that a bomb threat had been made about him. And here's the actual fucking thing. This is so beautiful.
College notified him, but the police didn't show up and interview him immediately. Yeah, that's sus.
All right. Let's bring it on screen there. All right. So Harry, this little piece of shit right here, this guy, that douchebag, says this is a bomb threat that was sent to me, my university, and my management team. Who would know to send it to his management team?
I don't know.
They threatened to kill me and claimed a bomb was placed in my dorm. The threatened to kill is right here at the top. You can already see it. It says, we will kill Harry Sisson. My school immediately alerted me. Well, you didn't notice an email saying, hey, we're going to kill you?
Apparently not.
I feel like that one would... Now, if you look at the thing, it says it was sent to his spam folder because it's like other things he's gotten before. I shouldn't laugh about that, but it's funny as hell. Where nobody had to be evacuated, and thankfully everyone's okay. Oh, sorry. My school alerted me immediately, and we knew it was fake due to the fact that I don't live in the dorms. We'll come back to that later. Nobody had to be evacuated, and thankfully everyone was okay. We have no idea who sent this. I have an idea. But police are actively investigating and working to make sure that the sender is held accountable. This person claims to be a progressive. We'll get to that later too. But given the language, I don't buy it. He's like a linguistic expert, Jack.
Yes, he is one of the wisest among us. Can I point out my theory on this kid?
Wait, can I finish reading?
Oh, yep. Sorry.
Let me. Okay, I'm going to just read through it, and I'll stop stopping so we can get through it. And hold your thought. Don't forget it.
Okay.
However, we will hopefully learn more. Extremism in politics is no joke. It's become extremely common for my peers and I to receive death threats for voicing our opinions. It's disgusting, and nobody, no matter what you believe, should face threats like this. I've been swatted, had threatening mail sent to my house, and now I faced a bomb threat because I'm involved in politics. It's insane, and hopefully we can all agree on this. The lunatics won't win. We won't let them win. Nobody's backing down. I'll continue to push forward with the millions of other Gen Zers out there. Thank you to everyone who's a supporter. All right, Jack, your theory on this kid.
So take a look at his jawline.
Mm-hmm.
He has a really big jaw.
Yeah.
Now, I consulted with my phrenologist. And they don't just look at the bumps on your head. They look at the whole head.
Mm-hmm.
And that jawline is indicative of a weirdo.
Well, look at the top of his head. I mean, it starts off normal, and then it just keeps going and going. It's like he should have a giant forehead.
Yeah, he probably does under that mop of hair. But I think he's got kind of a pointed head, and he's trying to disguise that with hair.
Right
but
there.
It's pointed at the top and at the chin like a Mr. Punch doll.
Right there.
So he's going to steal the sausages.
He's like, hey, Arnold, but instead of the football being sideways, it's standing up.
Yeah, exactly. But if you look at that jawline and you reference our good friend Adonis Paul, he has a similar lolcow named James Robert Clark III, JRC3. I think they might be related.
Could be.
Because if you watch this kid's videos, he kind of looks like JRC3.
And I pointed this out to you on Twitter. He always talks like that guy from the infomercials that had the jacket with the question marks on it telling you how to get free government money.
Yeah.
Everything's very hurried and it's very...
Yeah, because if you say things fast and loud, it's somehow credible. The Dane Cook effect.
He is the embodiment, the personification of the actual need for Ritalin.
Yes. But unfortunately, that's a weird trend with young people. They find that to be somehow credible. I don't understand it, but now, that's what my friends' kids tell me. They're like, oh, no, that means he knows what he's talking about because he's super excited about it. No, that just means he's retarded. I
have noticed, and I pointed this out quite a while ago when me and Satsu were streaming together, that people who just yell and scream on the internet, and I guess this should be known, but the louder you are and just yell once in a while, you'll get more viewers. People want to hear you scream like a retard for some reason.
I don't understand that, because if this person was on the city bus doing that, I'd be like, all right, I got to get off at the next stop. This person's a nut.
Yeah, I can't watch that shit. I'm much more of a Moist critical kind of guy where Moist seems like he's on Xanax all the time, no matter how excited he is.
Yeah, that's a little too deadpan. I need a
No,
little bit of enthusiasm, but not enough where you're like everything is screaming and shouting. You want to get a little passionate, fine, but dear God, have some like take your meds, dude. You're a spaz. He's the type of spaz we would avoid in school
true.
constantly because he's like, oh, dude, you're dial it back 6 or 7 notches.
Cougar wants to know if I talked about my cat watching over Lady Monkey. No, I mentioned this on Twitter. Those of you who don't follow me over there, you didn't know this. Lady Monkey is sick. I'm fairly certain she's the reason I'm like this now. Don't kiss sick chicks, okay? I don't care if you're married. Don't kiss them. But she's really sick, Jack. She spent most of the day asleep, and our little kitten, who's a pain in the ass most of the time, has just sat there watching over her. I don't think the cat has slept all day.
Oh,
Sometimes laying directly on her and just staring at her. Typically, like if she's laying with Lady Monkey upstairs in her chair, if I get on the stairs, as soon as she hears me, she jumps down and comes and greets me at the stairs. I went upstairs earlier. She's laying on Lady Monkey, and instead of getting down, she just turned and looked at me like, you better not do anything. Like, I was here to help. She's in severe mama kitty mode and just watching over her sick human. It is the cutest fucking thing.
oh,
But I feel bad for her because that poor cat needs some sleep. Cats need a lot of sleep.
they're saving up their energy for all the murder they're gonna do later.
Indeed, indeed. But anyway, yeah, she's such a sweetheart. And I've been giving her cuddles as much as I can, but she doesn't really want it because she wants to be watching over Lady Monkey. She's like, don't touch me right now. I got a job to do. She's so this is why I like cats more than dogs. Because a cat will be fuck off and like, I don't care about you. And then you're sick and like, oh, can I do anything for you? Where a dog is like that all the time. So when you're sick, it doesn't mean as much. They're going to be needy anyway.
Cannibalistic made a good point. Is she just waiting for her to die so she can eat her?
I don't think so. She doesn't look hungry. She looks tired.
No.
All right, let's get back to our good old friend Harry. Here's the actual bomb threat, Jack. We will kill Harry Sisson from Irina, I guess. Now, there's an important part right there that we'll come back to in a second, but it says why this message isn't spam. It is similar to messages that were identified as spam in the past. And then here's the actual threat. We placed a bomb in the blank main building. That's the name of the college. I don't know why he blacked that out. It's well known he goes to NYU. So I don't know why he bleeped it out.
I don't know.
We placed bombs in the NYU main building by blank, as well as Harry Sisson's dorm room. Evacuate the buildings now. Harry Sisson and blank, I'm guessing that's NYU, continue to promote bullshit corporate Democrats like Joe Biden while cheating out the true socialist progressives like Bernie Sanders. You are just as bad as the MAGA maggot blank. I don't know who that blank is right there. All right. He doesn't believe it came from a progressive, Jack, because they would never issue bomb threats or death threats or anything like that. They're good people.
Oh, that's funny as shit I've heard all day.
It's not like Obama literally announced his presidency in the apartment of a actual fucking terrorist who blew shit up.
Yeah. We won't even mention the riots out in like Portland, Seattle, Louisville.
Democrats would never bomb shit. But there's an important piece on this here, Jack. And it's the part I skipped over right up here, right under Irina's name. It says to BCC me. This is him sending himself the death threat, Jack.
Yes.
And it went in his spam folder. So it's not the first time he's emailed himself death threats. I'm just saying.
Also, I hear in the background is I'm so lonely, so sad and lonely.
But don't worry, guys. This is 100% real. It totally happened. And you know what, Jack? I saw there was a Spaces today. Remember that chick that used to do a show with Roaming Millennial? what's her name? Something Oakley. I follow her, but I don't pay any attention to her very much. But I saw she's in this thing. I actually went there because Nuance Pro was there too, and they were talking about this. And they all believe Harry Sisson. Because you see, there's an investigative reporter out there who saw this and went, this smells funny. So she called up the college and asked to speak to somebody about it, and they sent her to campus security, who knew nothing about this whatsoever. Said there'd been no bomb threat reported and no incidents within the last week. Now, you'll notice this says September 21st. So that would be in the last week, no?
Yeah. Yeah, 5 days ago.
They have literally no record of it.
No, because that would have made the news.
It absolutely fucking would have. A bomb threat at NYU? I mean, come on. Even as a hoax, they'd be like, yeah, there was a bomb threat at NYU today. But according to Harry here, what happened is that the college notified him and his management team. You know, the other two people who got the emails, which is weird that the management team didn't notice this either. So the college had to call them. And together they decided it wasn't a threat because, as Harry said back here, he doesn't even live in the dorms. I don't even live in the dorms, so of course it couldn't be real. Oh, okay.
Totally could be.
How would the bomber know that? It's pretty easy to find out this guy goes to NYU. Finding out where he lives takes some digging.
Yeah. Well, it'd be easy to find out if he lives on campus or not because they have phone directories. But to find out where he lives off campus would probably be a bit more challenging. Even then, you got to do a few minutes worth of searching, I'm sure. The
whole idea, though, they didn't call the police.
That's very weird to me. Somebody sends you a death threat of some sort, and you don't call the cops?
He says that the school filed a police report.
How?
Apparently, they went down to the whole school itself, I guess, went down there and filled. I don't know. Somebody from the school supposedly went down to the police to fill out a police report. Instead of, picking up the phone and going, hey, we had a bomb threat. Could you send somebody over here? And
if somebody just casually strolls in and says, yeah, I just need to fill out a form or report a bomb threat, the cops are going to be like, we need to double check the campus just to be sure.
Well, the investigative reporter points all this stuff out, and Harry says, no, look, hey, I'm going to go down there. I'm going to prove it. So he goes down to the police station, Jack, where he says he requested a copy of the report. It's going to take a while, though, because, and I'm not making this up, headquarters has to approve it.
What?
That's what he said.
That's not how that works at all.
No, that's what he had gone down there, Jack. That's what headquarters has to approve it.
No.
Hey, how dare you question this face?
Okay.
So
like you should be stalking a nurse or something. I know karate.
Is. Headquarters has to approve this, and they gave him a thing to look it up online and to submit a request, and he shows it, Jack. He shows this request that he did, but he blocked out the number because it might have his personal information on it.
No, well, it might, but I highly doubt that they're going to release that if it's an active investigation. But if he should be able to get a police report number and give us that information, and then you can verify there is a report in existence. They may not have it released because it's an ongoing investigation, but you can at least verify there is a report generated, and his name might be attached to that. But this kid's a fucking moron. I've requested police documents before. It's not that fucking hard.
Did you have to wait for headquarters to approve it?
No.
I don't think they did their job right, man, because headquarters has to approve that shit.
No, they don't, because it's public information.
Everything goes through headquarters. That's what headquarters is for.
This guy go down to Central, One Place Plaza. Shut the fuck up, you retard. This kid's a fucking idiot. He's lucky that he's stupid because otherwise everybody would think less of him. But this is the type of shit you expect from a dipshit shill for Biden.
Well, he also says that he asked them if he needed to fill out a report for getting a bomb threat, and they told him, nah, it's all right. We already got this one. Like, they didn't even take a statement. You're directly involved here.
Yeah, well, they didn't ask for a copy of the email so they could backtrace it. They didn't do
there
anything.
Should be, sorry, with what we know here, there should literally be nothing personal about this kid. The threats weren't even at where he lived, so it's not like his address would be involved. None of this. So why hide any of that stuff?
Yeah, they're at the minimum, they should have at least searched that dorm building.
Nah, bruh.
Would have got a lot of press attention because people would be like, why are we doing this? Yeah, I don't know. If this really happened, it would be all over the fucking news.
Look, I'm not even saying a bomb threat wasn't made, but for Harry to be able to say it's not credible, that's very suspect to me, especially when he's the one who CC'd this to himself.
Yeah. No, this is all made up bullshit. And I think he probably should be expelled for that, because even suggesting that this happened, it's going to make the media, and it's going to bring a lot of scrutiny down on the school. It's going to make a lot of people nervous.
You ready for my favorite part of the whole story?
Yes.
The reason that there is no record at campus security for this is because the school decided, since it was a hoax, there was no reason to involve campus security.
What? No, that doesn't even make any fucking sense. Campus security would absolutely have been involved to prove it was a hoax.
Nah, bruh. They were not involved at all because, and he never says who at just the college notified him. Like the building was like, hey, Harry, there was a bomb threat. He never gives a name of who he talked to. In like my resident advisor or a dean of picking your ass or whatever. Just the school. Somebody at a school. You're telling me somebody at a major college is aware of a bomb threat and never told campus security about it?
Fired immediately.
Even if you were just saying, hey, we got this bomb threat, we don't believe it's real, but it happened. You would have to do that.
Yeah, you would have to have campus security notified and the police, and they would have to go through the buildings and check them all one by one, especially the dorm that was mentioned that they think he lives in, and wherever else, is mentioned as well. But every building would likely be searched, and they probably would have canceled classes for the entire day for that, just to be safe.
For the record,
did this happen at that school a couple years back?
November 2021, yes. And they evacuated the school over a bomb threat to 3 of the buildings there.
That's what I thought. I thought you had said something about that on Twitter.
Yep.
So why wouldn't they do the same protocol now?
Because a 20-year-old told him it was okay.
He's a fucking idiot.
For the record, guys,
real quick, lie.
Let me get this real quick, guys. I am trying my best to read chat. My eyes are real fucked up today. For once, I'm really not ignoring you. I'm trying to read along because this is a story that deserves audience participation.
Yeah.
I'm just having trouble seeing what it is you guys are saying. Did the message end with "This is MAGA country"? You guys, you should read the fucking comments to this stuff. He is getting just blown up. But anyway, I was telling you about how there was this what do they call it? Space. This space is over there. They need a better name for that. It sounds stupid.
Yeah, they need to call it like the X zone or something.
Yeah.
That sounds way cooler.
They had this space where these seemingly intelligent people are all taking his side.
Why?
They have proof. You ready for the proof? I fucking love the proof. So Harry's arguing with this chick that is calling him out. And he comes up. He gets the ace card, Jack. He gets the so's your face card for my friends out there who love Scrubs. He says, how about this, lady? I'll get the police report myself. And when I put it up there and prove this is true, will you agree to apologize publicly? She's like, I'm not making any agreement with you. There it is. There's your proof.
That was it. He just claimed he was going to get a police report that he's never going to produce.
No, he'll show it, and she has to apologize. And since she won't take that off her, that's proof that he's telling the truth.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Not even a little bit.
No. Is he just going to write police report on the top of a sheet of paper in red crayon and then draw some boxes and fill it in? Because that's this level of baby brain nonsense. Like, this is really childish.
Yeah.
And a foolish thing to lie about.
Well, he wasn't getting attention, Jack. And this is why I think he's lying. I've been following this idiot for a while, Jack, because he amuses me in a, oh, look, it's retarded kind of way.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that this kid doesn't go out there and make a big deal about. But for some reason, he waited 2 days to post this to social media. I just don't believe it. Now, he did join that Spaces, and he explained why he came out and told everybody about this. Now, remember, he waited 2 days because it's very important to let people know this stuff happens. So you waited 2 days? One, I don't believe that you would wait 2 days for something like that. That's the kind of shit you would blast out immediately. So you go, look how mean they're being to me. But your reason for sharing it is it's just that important, but you waited 2 days?
Yeah, I'm not buying that either.
Seriously, were there a couple Nigerian brothers involved?
Yeah, Harry Smollett.
But hey, he tried to make a deal. It's really cute because she tells him, I'm not making a deal with you. And he says, oh, you're backtracking.
How's that backtracking?
Because he's a fucking retard. He's heard the word before. Actually, he heard it a lot today because he did backtrack quite a bit on some of his story here. And so he heard it, so he threw it around. It's very common in online arguments. People just repeat shit that was said to them.
This kid is probably going to ruin at least some of his reputation if he has one. I think he's a retard, but this will hurt him at some point because this is an obvious lie and not a very good one.
Well, let me help you out with what's going on here. One, you can now be monetized on Twitter, so the bigger your audience, the more money you'll make on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to get an audience on Twitter by just being controversial. Look what's going on with Dylan. Oh, fuck, what's his name? The guy is fighting Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Because of him fucking with Jake Paul, he had what was it, 8 billion hits on Twitter in a month? 2 billion, something like a fucking outrageous number. Where I don't know if he's monetized, but if he was, he would be getting paid. So you're on Twitter, you're encouraged to get as much engagement as possible. And the easiest way to do that, even if it's a hoax, is just come out and go, look, this happened to me. Him and that other little young retard that he hangs out with, I forget that kid's name. They have a podcast together, Jack.
That sounds.
Now, I just want to point something out here. I'm not being a dick either. When I'm being a dick, I'll let you know. He's followed by 170,000 people. This podcast went out to YouTube. He put it on YouTube. You want to guess how many views it had last time I saw it? It's got 170,000 people following him over on Twitter. How many would you guess watched him and another pretty popular young man discuss stuff today?
1,500.
Less than 200. Less than 150.
Oh, wow. I guess the price was wrong.
Last time I saw it was 128. You want to know why he's bumping this shit up? Why he's doing shit like this? That's why. Because this gets attention. And outside of TikTok, which doesn't really count because unless you got big titties, you're not going to make a lot of money off of the TikTok sponsorship stuff. Just ask Pearl. So you gotta expand and go other places where there's actual money to be made, and they're just not making it because other than mocking this kid, there's not a real reason to follow him.
Yeah,
because he's retarded. We have more people watching live than they had total. hours, and I think it was like 12 hours after they did it when I saw it or something like that. Like, for real? We get more than that live on a bad night. Anyway, yeah, this little fucking retard. That's what I spent most of my day doing, was arguing with people, because this one guy steps up to argue with me. Didn't even know the story that Harry told. Kept telling me about how Harry called the police. I'm like, Harry said he didn't call the police. And he did it with another thing. I'm like, dude, you don't even know what's going on here. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I don't have time to follow all this nonsense. Like, then why are you talking about it? Why are you opening your fucking cocksucking mouth if you're just going to say shit when you don't know anything? You literally are just making shit up. You're offering a defense he hasn't even offered. Anyway.
I'm just going to ask the New York University and the NYPD chief of departments why they're covering up a bomb threat.
Please do. That'd be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are brought to you by you. Hit that like button, hit the share button. If you would, me and Jack aren't sponsored, and Twitter sure as hell isn't giving us anything. Donate. Toss a tip in the hat, whatever you can afford. It's like church. If you give us 10%, we'll tell you get 100% back, but it's not going to happen.
We'll tell you get it in the afterlife.
You'll get 10.
You can't hold us to it.
I love it. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to mock religion, but hear me out on this one. I love, like, give 10%, you'll get it back tenfold. All right. If I have a steady paycheck, Jack, right? Let's say I make $100 a month and I give the church $10. Oh, I'm going to get that back tenfold. Yeah, next month I'm going to make $100 again. It's the perfect number. I wish I had thought about that. Hey, guys, give me money. Give me 10% of your earnings and you'll get tenfold. I mean, it's perfect. It's perfect. Hey, look, guys, I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I'm just saying all of the books obviously have man's dirty little fingerprints on it. Just saying.
Well, people are very good at corrupting things.
I'm just saying. Is this like a church where I can give negative amount with sleight of hand? Maybe. You know what, Random, I'm going to talk about you next. I had a discussion today, Jack.
Uh-oh.
Well, since I mentioned Pearl anyway. No, I was with Hammer. I'm sorry, Random. It wasn't you. Where's Hammer? I'm going to mention Hammer. You guys both have the American flag thing going on that confuses me. So, Weibo made a post. It was in regard to Pearl without mentioning her specifically. About the whole notion that it's okay for men to cheat. And a discussion comes up of, because this is actually a Fresh and Fit was the first people I saw saying this. And it's really big in the manosphere. It's okay for a man to cheat because a man cheating is just like a handshake.
What?
The idea being it's meaningless to him. It doesn't. Or for a woman, when a woman cheats, there's an emotional connection there. So that makes it wrong. I understand the argument as a man, Jack. I do. Because men are generally, not completely, but generally, more able to separate sex from love.
Yes.
The old saying goes, women gives love to get, women give sex to get love, men give love to get sex. Because for women, it just means more.
Oh, I always heard it as love is what women make while you're fucking them.
Well, that's another way of saying it too. But the whole point being that they're just trying to downplay what cheating is. And my argument is that even if that's true, right? Jack, let's say you're married. I know you're not. You're an old spinster, but let's say you are.
I'm a professional bachelor. Thank you.
Don't say that. That makes you gay.
No, that's there's a different phrase for that. Consummate bachelor.
Both are gay.
No, one is an occupation. The other one is gay sex.
But theoretically, you're married, right?
Okay.
And to you putting your dick in somebody, it's a handshake. No big deal. But you know that your wife thinks it's an incredibly big deal. If you care about her at all, that alone should make it a big deal to you.
Yeah, but let's face it, a lot of guys that are going to cheat on their wives don't care about their wives.
And that's fair. That's fair. But I also think there's guys out there who absolutely do love their wives and cheat on them anyway. And
Yeah.
to excuse that, like, hey, well, I mean, it's a guy. We don't care that much. It's not about whether you care that much. It's about whether she cares that much. If she doesn't care that much, then by all means, go put your dick in whatever you can get it in. But this is a woman you promised yourself to. And if you care about her at all, you should be like, yeah, it is a big deal for me to cheat. Because I am on the side of it's not a big deal for a guy to cheat. That it is just putting your dick in something. All right. like 15 minutes to kill. But I don't do it because I know my wife would hate it.
Yeah, you love your wife.
Exactly. No, guys can do it because it doesn't mean anything. Fuck you, you fucking retards. And for the record, Hammer did not say it was okay to cheat. We were just arguing about the level of what it meant. Hammer, I just want to be clear on that. He's not like, yeah, go fuck me. No, it's not. Hammer's not like that. But the rest, no, it's not okay for guys to cheat. Stop it.
I think it depends on the level of emotional connection you have with somebody. Because if you don't care about their feelings, then obviously you're more likely to do it. But there's some guys out there that will never be able to make that bond with somebody. They just are impulsive and selfish.
And I hear you, but again, it doesn't make it okay to cheat. If that's your
issue,
I'm
not saying it does.
No,
that's the whole point of like the institution of marriage is you're trying to maintain a relationship so that you can raise a family together, and you're not just out there banging everything that moves. You're trying to maintain a cohesive unit.
Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. My stance on cheating is such. To me, it is morally reprehensible and a break of trust. Have evolved beyond our baser instincts. I'm not saying a marriage should be ruined over it, but there will and should be consequences. Look, I have a problem with the baser instinct thing. I mean, men and women are different, and I understand as a man why men feel differently about it. By the way, men do not feel this way if their wife cheats. No. Even if she is kind of a hoe, they're like, she doesn't think sex is that big a deal. She goes and bangs somebody, like, bitch, what'd you just do?
Yeah.
But if you are the kind who does not actually care about them, then do leave. There's a lot of people like, oh, if he cheated, obviously there was something like that's not true. There are guys who are just like, it's meaningless to me. So fuck it, I don't care. It's incredibly selfish. It doesn't mean they don't actually love their wives. It just means they have another flaw in themselves. A lot of people, though, Jack, try to separate. Oh, well, he obviously doesn't care about her. Yeah, but you have to understand how he's thinking about it too. It's that it's not a big deal. So why would that bother her? It's hard for people to put themselves, even with empathy, it's still hard to actually put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have little flaws like that where you're a minor sociopath. You're a sociopath in training, which, let's be honest, men are. I think all men have the ability to be sociopaths, if I'm being honest.
The likelihood is more common in men. Yeah,
we're easier to separate emotion, to just make that go. Nah, we can't look at that right now.
Well, you have to compartmentalize to do the hunter-gatherer thing because you're out hunting animals. You have to be able to kill it, and probably members of other tribes and shit. So there's a lot more ability to compartmentalize, which leads to more sociopathy.
Yeah, you have to be able to turn that part off to do to do something like support capital punishment, Jack, because you are killing a human. No matter what they did, they are still a human.
But unless they're kid diddler, those aren't humans.
Even then, to be able to turn that off and go, that's no longer human. You know what I mean? I agree with you, but that's something that we have to be able to turn off.
Yeah. No, it's just the difference between men and women.
Yeah.
And is that hypocritical in some regard, I suppose, because guys get more upset if their wife cheats than when they do.
Yeah.
So I guess that could be seen as hypocritical, but it's the way people are wired. And people, too many people do not want to admit that there are biological differences between men and women. And that's where a lot of the complaints and confusion arises. We're just wired differently.
Jeff asks if it's the same if they cheat with another woman. It depends on the guy. Some guys, I never realized this was a thing until I was like in my 30s. But yeah, some guys get really mad about that. I would not care if Lady Monkey went muff diving. I wouldn't. They're like, all right, there's no dicks involved, right? Cool, do it, do your thing. But apparently there's guys out there like, oh no, that's cheating on me. Like, dude, she had a woman licking her.
Well, there's another woman, and they're not getting a piece of that. So
it's all right.
I knew a couple guys that had a real problem with that. The idea of a lesbian was like emasculating to them. Real quick though, thank you, Keldrig. I think people who cheat regardless of their sex are scumbags, and I judge them harshly and hope bad things happen to them. I've seen friends and family get destroyed by infidelity in a relationship, and it's not pretty. Yeah, it's real ugly when there's a breakup around that. Infidelity is really, really bad for relationships, obviously. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's a real scummy thing to do. If you're in a relationship to cheat on somebody, that's such a betrayal of trust.
But that's, I mean, that's kind of our puritanical roots kind of thing.
Well, you have to know the boundaries going in. If the person you're with has a problem with you banging other people, then that is a betrayal of trust. But in some,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
In some cultures, like a lot of the Asian cultures, if it's just sex and there's no emotions, it's generally regarded as less of a problem.
Here in the United States, at least, the whole cheating absolutely destroys a relationship thing is largely Oprah Winfrey's fault. Because it used to be a thing that happened and people would deal with it and then they would move on. And Oprah comes along with her, leave that zero, get yourself a hero bullshit, and destroys marriages over it. Does it problems? Absolutely. But it's kind of a modern thing. You have to actually go back to a lot further back to find that being a thing again, or go to primitive cultures for that shit, like, Islam.
But it wouldn't have been such a big deal with Oprah if we didn't have no-fault divorce. Because that's really where the ability to do that comes from. Otherwise, you couldn't just up and leave your partner without it costing you a lot. Because let's face it, in the old times, women would lose everything if they left a marriage because the men are the breadwinners, so they'd get the kids. But thanks to no-fault divorce, women get the children. They can take your house. They can take all that other shit.
But I got to disagree with you a little bit, because cheating would be a fault. That was a reason for divorce.
Real quick, yeah, but there are states where it doesn't matter.
Let me get this real fast.
It's no fault regardless.
Snubber, thank you so much. George Costanza effect. They are upset because they think they turn them off men. Perhaps. No, and I understand what you're saying about no-fault divorce, Jack, but I'm talking about before no-fault divorce. If somebody cheated on you, that was reason for divorce. And you'd be decided in your favor.
Yeah, but people fought harder. It was harder to get a divorce because there was a lot more legal work involved, and a lot of judges would just deny it. So up until like the 80s or so, it was a lot more difficult to actually get a divorce. It would take a lot longer. It would be more complicated and involved. And people actually tried to work on their relationships back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Oprah was a big part of it. I just don't think that happened in isolation. That was a cultural shift right around that time period.
I think she led the charge.
Oh yeah, she was definitely in the mix for sure.
She was rolling at the front of that line.
Yeah, because she was. I really think Oprah just hated men. She wanted some like cucked soy boy type,
which she had.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Stedman. Isn't that his name, Stedman?
I don't know.
My wife used to watch a lot of Oprah. That's why I know to blame a lot of this shit on that horrible bitch. She had her little gay girlfriend, the one that's doing CBS Morning News now. What's her name? Gail Gail something.
Yeah, something like that. But you had a lot of people around that time. You had Jenny Jones, the ugly bitch with the glasses.
Sally.
Sally Jesse Raphael, and who was the guy with the white hair?
Phil Donahue.
Yeah, Phil. They were all of that same kind of mindset.
And you're not wrong about that, but when you look at the audience numbers,
no, I'm just saying that this didn't happen just with one person. This was a widespread. It branched out and infected other things too. It was hard to get away from this idea.
Yeah, and it's kind of the effect. I mean, you get somebody who, let's be honest, the others were Donahue was actually first, if I remember correctly. But Oprah comes along and turns it into this empire, and so you get all these ugly little fat girls trying to do it too.
Yeah, like Ricky Lake.
Like Ricky. I love that you knew exactly who I meant when I said ugly little fat girl.
I mean, it's fairly obvious.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
But yeah, that hyper feminism crap is still in the daytime culture. You don't just have it with Oprah because Oprah's gone, but people have carried on that legacy torch. You see it with The View and all the other little talk shows. Kelly Clarkson's got a talk show. It's all the same shit repackaged.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Real quick, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. To clarify my hardline stance, I'm very biased. My parents' marriage was the result of my mother having an affair, and then she cheated on my father while he was deployed. I freely admit my bias. Hey, we've all got biases, dude.
Here's my bias on it. I am the product of an affair. My brothers are both full-blooded brothers, while I am a half-brother. My parents worked through it, thank God, because sperm donor's a piece of shit. And my parents made it work. And that's what used to happen.
Our parents' generation was really the last ones to really try and work things out.
Yeah.
That's why divorce rates skyrocketed in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah. Because they made it one real easy. And again, they still have, go to marriage counseling. Everybody knows marriage counseling is just prepare for your divorce.
Yeah. Marriage counseling is you should leave him and take all his shit.
So look, I am not in favor of cheating. I just don't think it necessarily has to ruin a relationship.
No, it unfortunately, the level of betrayal varies by people, but I don't think I could stay with somebody that cheated on me. I wouldn't tolerate that shit at all because I'm not going to cheat. I expect you not to cheat too.
Yes. I don't think you should, but again, I've told this story before. There was a girl that I worked with at Walmart, and her husband not only cheated on her, he left their house and went to live at his mother's house with the bitch he was cheating with. And everybody told, hey, don't you ever go back to him. How dare you? And I pulled her aside one day after I heard another person say this to her. I'm like, look, as your friend, because we are actually still friends. Whatever you decide to do, you do it. I said, don't let they've been married 20 years. I'm like, and if you guys find a way to make this work, make it work. Don't listen to these assholes who are like, never take him back. And you made a mistake. If it's that big where you can't do it, then don't do it. But don't let all these assholes out here telling you to throw away your marriage because of this mistake. Decide it for you. And for the record, they're back together and have been for, I think it's like another 15 years now.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the people in the relationship. Outsiders, it's not really your business. You can't decide what other people do with their relationships. You can only decide what you do with yours.
So he's a cheating coward. Yeah, the guy's a piece of shit. I don't like him and he knows it. But I'm not the one that has to live with him. That's between her and him. But everybody had an opinion on that, Jack.
Oh, yeah, they're going to.
And every one of them, don't you ever get back with him. You deserve better than that girl. They love that part. The girl at the end. Because you got to emphasize. Don't get back with him, girl. Fuck off.
My favorite is when it's the woman that cheats and all the women are saying, you have to forgive her. because they're a bunch of fucking hypocrites.
Oh God, yeah. If it's there's a whole different story if it's the woman cheating, ain't it?
Yeah, it always is because
Yeah.
well, obviously you weren't treating her right.
Yes, yeah. It's always the guy's fault when a woman cheats.
Yeah, well, it's always the guy's fault, regardless whether the woman cheats or he cheats. It's his fault.
It can't just be that she's a dirty bitch, which, let's be honest, that's true sometimes.
Yeah, maybe she's just a dirty hoe. Just think about that. She's for the streets.
Yep. And again, there's guys like that, and guys are more likely to be like that.
Yeah, which is probably why it's a little bit more egregious when a woman does it.
I think it's more egregious because of the whole the emotional attachment for it. The sex itself, I mean, it's not a handshake, it's sex. But it's just an act. And it doesn't have to be any more meaningful than you make it. And knowing that women tend, don't get all mad, women, but women tend to get more emotionally attached in such things. Like you said earlier, it's a betrayal on a different level. It's not just the physical, it's the emotional part.
Yeah. Emotional cheating is so much worse than physical cheating.
Plus, with men, it's more of a pride thing. We are the proud ones, the cock of the walk, doing our strut. And to have somebody else come in and take what was yours, you don't have to like that fucking language, ladies, but that's what we're talking about here. I'm yours, you're mine. To have another guy come in and take what is yours? Oh, hell no. That's a pride issue right there. And we're more prone to pride. We are far more egocentric than women are.
Oh, very true.
Well, unless they're on TikTok. We men have nothing on a TikTok female, dude.
Oh, they're weird.
Yeah, they are. They absolutely are. See, if you were a true high value man, Monkey, you could have access to multiple women. He thinks I could only get one chick, Jack. That's funny. Monkey less ego than women. Okay, I said guys in general. I didn't say me specifically. I'm just saying, for the record, you're right. That's a fair point. Oh God, what must it be like to be a guy who can't get women? That must hurt. It sucks to turn down sex, Jack. It doesn't feel good.
Oh, yeah, it definitely goes against parts of your animal brain.
Forgot you have access to your face. Oh shit! I can't answer that without sounding like I'm bragging, Jack. So we're just gonna move along from there. All right, what else was I fucking around with today? Should we briefly talk about that? Before we do that, we'll do, because you had a story here. What was the story? Canada spied on Indian diplomats. Canada, what the fuck are y'all doing up there?
Well, this was a big story, and then this followed up. I don't know if you heard about the assassination in Canada.
I saw something about. I didn't read anything. I saw headlines.
No, the Nazi thing kind of buried that story. They're going to mention it here, so carry on. You want me to read it, or do you got it?
Would you?
Yeah, let me find out where I put it. I got a whole litany of shit open up here.
You put it in the side chat.
Canada's allegation that India was involved in the assassination of a prominent Sikh separatist is based on the surveillance of Indian diplomats and intelligence provided by members of the Five Eyes Alliance, the CBC reported on Thursday, citing government sources. The intelligence sharing alliance comprises the US, Britain, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand.
The Britain bastard children.
Yeah, this is where we all spy on each other, so that because you can't spy domestically, you just get your friends to do it for you.
I bet you it was the Canadians themselves, because they're the little brother who squeals.
Yeah, they're the Dougie diapers of everybody. They're tattletales. Yep. The report comes amid a deepening diplomatic row between Ottawa and New Delhi over the allegations made by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau earlier this week, linking the Indian government to the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, a Sikh leader who had been on India's wanted list since 2020. New Delhi has denied the allegations, describing them as absurd and motivated. The CBC claimed that intelligence had been collected during a month-long investigation in which communications were intercepted between Indian officials, including diplomats located in Canada. Canadian officials traveled to India on several occasions, including in August and September, seeking cooperation in the investigation into Najjar's death.
Can
Associated Press.
we pause here for just a second? I don't see this as a big deal other than getting caught at it. I just assume that nations are spying on each other constantly.
Oh, yeah, I would think so. But the Indians got real mad about this.
Oh, I'm sure they did, especially if it's true that they caught them planning this shit because they just got busted.
Yeah, well, India's probably mad they got caught killing the guy, and they're mad they're being spied on. So, and Trudeau's a dummy, so
yeah,
it's kind of like getting caught by the retarded kid committing a crime.
Yeah,
I told you. Yeah. Shut up.
We all know they do it. You're not supposed to announce that you do it, dipshit.
Yeah. The Associated Press.
I just say every country just kind of knows that the other one's doing it, and they never get mad about it until they're caught doing something bad. You know what I mean? And then it's like, how dare you spy on us? Like, well, apparently we had a good fucking reason.
Yeah. Obviously you had a reason for it. Speaking in Parliament on Monday, Trudeau said his government had credible intelligence linking agents of the government of India to the murder of Najjar in June. On Thursday, the Prime Minister repeated the allegations to reporters on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. He called on New Delhi to cooperate with a probe into the death of the Sikh leader.
They're going to make me root for Canada on this one, damn it.
Yeah, it's weird. Don't assassinate your political rivals. It's bad form.
No, just push them out a window.
Yeah, that's how the Russians do it. Less possibility of allegations then. Oh, it was clearly a suicide. No, it looked like he was shot. I said,
right.
I'm not going above the first floor. Trudeau said the decision to publicize these allegations in the Canadian Parliament was made by the utmost seriousness. When asked by a reporter if the evidence was extensive, he reiterated that those were credible allegations that Canada needs to take seriously.
And they would be credible allegations if they have phone calls between these idiots discussing killing this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're tapping the diplomats' phones. They're calling up the CIA asking them to do it.
We probably, excuse me. Sorry, we probably did. That info probably came from us.
Oh, probably. Speaking of which, Washington has given its support to Ottawa in its ongoing investigation. During a briefing on Thursday, National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said U.S. officials have been constantly in touch with their Canadian counterparts and consulting with them closely.
Told you. Wouldn't be much of a reason for us to be consulting with them closely if we weren't the ones who provided the info.
Yeah. Oh, then he went on to confirm that Washington had been in touch with New Delhi in relation to this matter. There's not some special exemption you get for actions like this, Sullivan said when asked whether U.S. President Joe Biden intended to speak to Modi regarding Canada's allegations. Which will sound a lot like this. Magic trick.
I got to imagine getting a phone call from Joe Biden. It would be like back in the day when you'd get prank phone calls. You just, it's a prank phone call and hang up.
Right. Biden would be like, is this the 7-Eleven? Did I call you by mistake? Trying to get to the Indians.
Oh, for God's sake.
The tensions have ratcheted up. The Indians are really pissed about this.
Yeah.
That's the basics of the story. I'll drop the link for anybody that wants to read further, but there's not much more to it.
Yeah, stop assassinating people so blatantly, for fuck's sake. Don't y'all got email? Why the hell are you doing this shit over the phone?
But even their emails are probably getting intercepted.
They
This
can
seems
do
like the type
intranet.
of shit you change in person in the homeland and then go deal with it.
This is the shit you do above a pizzeria
Sort
in
of
person,
yeah.
and make sure that you've swept for bugs beforehand. Why did they want this guy dead?
He was some sort of separatist that wanted India to go back to more of a Hindu culture. I don't know a lot about the guy. I looked him up once a while back because he's been in the news a few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was basically on the run from the Indian government and hiding out in Canada.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, Canada's got kind of a history of taking in people that want to avoid their government.
They really do. Yeah, it sounds like the Indians got caught and they're mad about it. Look, don't play dumb. You're India. You're not like Nigeria. You're spying on people too. Stop it.
Yeah.
Not only are you spying on people, you guys have your own tech support for when it goes bad.
Right?
Although they're all named Dan for some reason.
My name is Jeff. No, it's not. It's Steve. No, it's not.
I worked at a place where we worked with people on those kind of calls, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, we just knew that their names were all fake, and they were told to give fake names because it made Americans feel better.
You never see that shit with like Latinos because they're all proud of their names because their names are badass. You know, like my name is Ramirez. You know, my name is Jose. You never get that shit with Latinos.
My name is Steve Jones.
Yeah. No, first of all, nobody'd believe you because your accent sounds kind of badass. But
thank you.
No, nobody would buy that shit. It's like we could tell you're from South America somewhere, dude. But they're all proud of their names. Apparently, India's got some kind of identity crisis where they're like, "My name is Raj. I'm sorry." Like your names aren't that uncool, dude. Come on. It's not like you got clicks and clacks in there like you're from the middle of nowhere Congo or something.
Well, I worked at a place where there was a call-in center that would take lesser calls. I was an escalation from them. And it's amazing how many calls I got where the people were perfectly easy to understand, but some jackass redneck Americans, I want to speak to me in American. Just put the asshole on the phone. I'll deal with them. It was a lot of fun, Jack. I hate people like that. I've called tech support where I couldn't understand what they say, and that's frustrating. But if they just have an Indian accent and you can fucking hear them, shut up and stop being a douchebag about it.
Yeah, like Eagle said, their names are kind of long and hard to pronounce. It's fine. Get a shortened name. Like Rajesh is probably short for something, but just shorten it up and it'll still sound cool and exotic, and we'll give you credit for that. Don't try and lie to us. That's insulting to yourself, your culture, and us.
True.
Just be who you are. Stop trying to deceive us. It just pisses us off more.
Yeah. I get why we use them though. They're much cheaper than we are. You can hire a whole phone bank over there in India for like $3 a year.
I guess. But I don't know. I just have some pride, you know, like your name is strong in your country, I'm sure. I doubt your name means like leaks when running, you know, like dick leakage. Nobody's nickname is that.
I hear you, but again, having dealt with some of those people, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
And what those people need to learn is that those people are never, it doesn't matter what you do. Yeah. It's never going to matter what you do. So just be you.
Yeah. Just be proud of who you are. Stop trying to fake it. It's not okay. It's not cool. Nobody respects that.
Or at least give yourself some kind of exotic sounding name, right? My name is Timberwolf. I'm sorry, what'd you
Timberwolf. Yeah, that would be way more badass, but that's a different kind of Indian though.
Fair enough.
I did work with this Somali dude named George, and he was named after Saint George.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, all right, at least you got a cool, you know, he had an awesome accent. There's some really cool accents out of North Africa, like Egyptian, and some of the Somali accents are kind of cool. But the way he would say his name sounded super regal. It sounded like he was introducing somebody, like, I am George.
In American culture, especially, if you watch media, you would think all black guys are named Tyrone or Leroy. All Latino guys are named Jesus. And in reality, if you watch the credits for the show, like Jesus Rodriguez, played by Steve Lopez.
Yeah. No, he's still who's been a second generation.
Yeah, there are a lot of more Americanized names with different ethnicities in America than you would believe if you watched our media.
Yeah,
like that's Shinboke. That's Steve, man. I saw it on the credits. I know that is Shinboke. He is black, so he was named after some weird made up shit. I did like that trend in the late 80s and early 90s where black people just started making up names like that sounded vaguely African. Like, that's Simboto. Did you mean Simba? No, Simboto. It means he who has a dumb mother.
Yeah, you just made that shit up. Knock it off.
There was a lot of that shit.
Yeah.
La Quisha. That's our ancestral name. No, it's not. Stop it.
My favorite was I worked with a woman named Sequoia. Like, that's a tree.
That's a tree.
You're named after a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
I knew a kid. His name was Trenton. Actually, I've known several since. I'm like, you are named after a city in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Do your parents hate you?
Right? Yeah, if you're named after a city or something on a menu, your parents probably hated you.
At least I'm named after a saint, man. I'm just saying. I'm named after my grandfather. He was named after a saint. There's no way I can claim that saintness, can I?
Probably not. Not unless you actually are named after a saint.
I am the saint of saying really horrible things online to make myself laugh.
Why is my name Florida?
That's Flo Rida.
Yeah, that's Flo Rida.
My wife gets mad because I refuse to call Flo Rida Flo Rida. I call him Florida because that's his fucking name.
Yeah, it is absolutely his name.
That says Florida, bitch. I know your mom named you after a chick from Good Times. That's what your mom named you. Wasn't that her name, Florida?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm named after a Shakespeare play. Oh, it's nice to meet you, Hamlet. I hope that's what they went with because, like, Taming of the Shrew, that's a hard name to teach a kid.
Yeah, that'd be a rough one. This is my son, Midsummer, and my daughter, Sonnet number 5.
Oh, man. Sequoia was a Cherokee leader who invented the written language, Jack.
Yeah, how many people know that, Jim? Come on. It's a type of tree. You find some average schmuck on the street, they're going to be like, do you know who Sequoia is? Yeah, it's a tree. I've seen one right over there.
Oh, it is amazing, though, in American media, how fucking stereotypical they are with the names.
Yeah, it borders on racism. Let's be real.
It really does. And again, if you watch the credits, it's some woman named like Lupita. Her real name's like Lisa. Not even an exotic American name, just Lisa.
Yeah, look, that's Amanda and Jennifer. They're going to be playing Shaniqua and Isbanya.
It's fucked up, man. It's racist as shit. Oh, goodness. How the fuck we get on names?
I don't know. It's just no logic to this show. It just sort of happens.
Doc says close. It's from where it took place, Denmark with the Danes. Oh, fair enough. I'm a huge fan of Hamlet. I love the story of Hamlet. I even like the kind of retelling there in Lion King.
The Mel Gibson version was better.
Oh, I love the Mel Gibson version of Hamlet. It was so good.
Yeah, it was a good adaptation.
He plays
anything
crazy.
With Kenneth Branagh, I love.
He plays crazy really well.
Yeah, he does. Have you ever seen Othello with Lawrence Fishburne?
I haven't. I keep being told I should.
Yeah, that's the best version of Othello on film.
But as a theater guy, I don't even say that word.
What, Othello?
Yeah.
No, you say Macbeth. You don't say Macbeth.
Oh, you're right. It is Macbeth. It's been a long
Yeah.
time, Jack.
No, I understand, but I actually know that one because I like to yell that at people in theaters.
Real quick, Ragnock. I knew a kid named Tribble from No. I knew a kid named Tribble from Star Trek. They named their kid a Tribble.
I met a kid named Nova once.
People like that should be punched in the groin so they never have more kids to fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I knew this dude who would constantly refer to his kid as dude. And I couldn't figure out what the kid's name was because I knew this guy for like 3 years and didn't know the kid's name for like 2.5 of them.
Oh.
And then I found out the kid's name was Nova.
I wouldn't call him that either. I rarely called my children by their names. I always called them pet names.
Yeah, but your pet names were a lot better than dude.
Well, I called one of my sons Bubba.
Yeah, I don't like Bubba.
It comes out when you're a dad, man. You can't help it. Come here, Bubba. Yeah,
that's not a word that is really in my lexicon. So.
Even little Indian kids, their dads are like, what did I do, Bubba? I don't know.
I don't think that's true.
It's true. It's true. I read it on the internet. Hang on, I got to write that so that's not a lie.
Like Chevy Nova. No, I think they were going for like they heard the word in astronomy. It's like a supernova because he thought that it would help the kid be famous. And I was like, no. That's not going to help that kid at all. Everybody will just think he's dumb white trash. And he was. Kid was really stupid. He had a rat tail too, and that really pissed me off.
Doug says my dad's pet name for me was Monkey, believe it or not. Well, again, one of the reasons I use the Monkey moniker is because Mom called me Monkey. Usually not necessarily in the nice, you're like a little monkey. It's not my fault. I was born this way. It's her genes. It's really my mom's fault. Or at least half, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Nature versus nurture. Somebody fucked up. Either way. Yeah. And here we are. No, do you remember when the whole push came out? Don't use pet names. I can't help it. I do that with everybody. You're probably the only person that I call their actual name.
Yeah, because that's the one I use. Because I'm lazy.
I guess
stupid enough to use my real name.
No, but I like anybody I talk to on a regular basis. I don't call my wife her name. My daughter, my granddaughters, my sons. I just don't do it. I was raised in a house. My mom, even though she was from California, she's from the San Fernando Valley. My mom was a redneck, man, and had that Southern kind of thing going on. So you didn't. There's a nickname for everybody. And if you don't know somebody very well, it's sweetie or sweetheart. And it can, don't call people sweetheart. Don't call them sweetie. She has a name, you know. It's actually more of a sign of respect for me to call you that than to call you by your real name. No offense. Like as I just said, you're the only one I call that.
Because I hate you, Jack. I hate you. Like, share, and subscribe. Give us money.
But it is. It's Southern hospitality, California twist on it is all it is. And the whole, hey, that's disrespectful to her. Go fuck yourself, man. You guys are so overly sensitive about everything. You go down south, you will not find a woman. When women in the South turn like 35, they don't know anybody's names anymore. Everybody is sweetheart. Everybody, literally. You ever been south of the Mason-Dixon?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Going to some diner?
Honey, sugar.
Yeah. You don't have a name. They will give you the one that fits, and that's what you stick with while you know them.
I assume they're all diabetic and craving some snacks. Like, sweetie, you just want sugar, don't you? Here's your
just the way it is, man.
Yeah, you just need a Snickers bar, so you'll remember who I am.
When I worked at Walmart, this sweet lady, one of my favorite people I ever worked with, she was from the deep South, man. The accent and everything. And she didn't call anybody their name. Everybody was sweetheart. And we had to take a CBL, computer-based learning module, that told us you're not allowed to do that. So I asked her in the lunchroom afterwards, and I'm like, how are you going to deal with that? She goes, I ain't paying attention to that shit.
Right?
I told you, she's an older Southern woman. She don't give a fuck. I got named Casper in boot camp. I was that white. My dad's name in the Navy was Bones because my dad was skinny as shit. That was his nickname, Jack.
Yeah, that's the type of thing skinny guys get. Yeah.
You don't get a skinny guy very often called Tubby.
Yeah. Or like, like fatty or something. They don't really do that.
Yeah, we got to get more ironic with our names like that.
I mean, you got to find what works for the person, because too many people give themselves nicknames and it shows.
That is true. That is true. And again, mine is given to me by my mom. I didn't just name. I guess I did name myself Monkey, but it came from somewhere. It's not like I just went Monkey. You know what I mean? You'll see a lot of guys online. The one that really makes me laugh, and I'm sorry if there's anybody in chat, is people who take on the Roman emperor names and they try to like live it up.
Yeah.
And then they turn out to be kid diddlers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Marty. Oh God. Don't know where that came from.
Yeah, like if you ever go by Claudius, I'm gonna just assume that you fuck horses.
So I'll say for the record, I never liked that fucking shitbag Marty.
Marty who?
He was a guy who used to run around. I forget what name he used online, but everybody knew his name was Marty. And he just kind of disappears for a little bit. And then it comes out that he went to prison for diddling a kid.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. He used to be a regular on Based Mama streams.
Oh, not like Russian Deadpool where he like murdered a chick, right?
No, he just fucked kids. And at last I heard he'd got out, which seems wrong. But yeah, he used to come around to those groups and he just always gave me a weird vibe because he was one of those guys who tried to be Roman. You know, he LARPed the shit. I'm like, you're fucking weird, dude.
There's a lot of LARPers on here that I got connected, like Scooby.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're not that tough, okay? Nobody cares. Just be yourself.
Walking around the Smithsonian wearing a tail.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is very weird. Look, if you're just gonna grab the name, I don't care. But the ones who try to LARP it, stop it. Stop it. That's fucking weird.
Especially if they go all out and they like start dressing the part. Like, what are you, Centurion? What are you doing here?
If it's for a goof, no big deal. But yeah, some of those guys. There was a big conversation on Twitter the other day about this. The notion that men think about Rome all the time.
Yeah, I saw that.
And apparently it makes women laugh. I don't know why. One, Rome is a very important part of history. It's not like we're all obsessed with something important like the Kardashians or Taylor Swift. I mean, that would be really important, Jack.
Yeah. Most women I know, they're like, that would say, you're obsessed with Rome. You could easily point out any reality show that they're obsessed with.
I think about
Kardashians or a dozen other things.
I think about Rome when it's relevant to something I'm thinking or talking about.
Yeah, like circuses.
Keldrick, thank you. My dad calls me Junior, even though I'm not, in fact, Dad's name Junior. That's in quotes, his father's name. He's not actually Junior. I'm the first person with my name in the family, as far as I am aware. That's awesome. Junior is a popular one. My older brother was Junior, and when he turned about 9, he's like, please don't call me that anymore. And I was the only one in the family that respected it at first. Oh, I think by the time Mom died, she was still calling him Junior, which would be, how old was he at the time? 17. So for another 8 years, she still called him that. He's like, Mom, stop calling me that. I just live with it, bro. Oh, where are we?
If you do have a mild Rome obsession and your girlfriend thinks about that, decorate your bedroom to look like the Colosseum and tell her you want a sword fight and whip your wiener out.
Yeah, but if you want a sword fight, she's going to whip her wiener out, and then you're in a whole different place. You're in Greece, not Rome
Well,
anymore.
your girlfriend shouldn't have a wiener, so she gets a net.
I'm just saying. Dark Resurrect, thank you for that feminist $12. The only Roman emperor that matters is Augustus Caesar, Octavian, who brought the dying Roman Republic into the golden age of the empire. Just make sure not to do the salute. The whole Julius into Octavian thing is, yeah, it's probably the cause of the downfall of Rome. Even though it led to some prosperity in the short term, it's probably what led to the downfall. It's what the senators were fighting against. It's why they killed Julius. Because emperor at the time was not a lifelong title. In fact, it was what, a year, I think. I forget exactly. I know this, Jack. It's just been a while since I did my studies.
Yeah.
But that's what they were afraid of, is this emperor for life fucker. And so they kill Julius and end up with it anyway.
Well, yeah, killing Julius Caesar was one of the biggest mistakes in Roman history. It led to a lot of the problems they had. Granted, he was not exactly the best person on earth, but they opened themselves up to somebody worse.
The problem there is that when they made the deals to save their lives, and actually even when they're building up to it and the thought process going into killing Julius, they wanted to erase everything he did, but in order to do that, it would have made such drastic changes in Rome that they're like, maybe we don't quite do that. And if they wanted their plan to work, they had to basically erase everything he did.
Yeah.
Leaving it all in the books, just literally, like you said, left it open for somebody worse.
Yep. Half measures, dude. Half measures. They weren't willing to commit, so they killed the guy and fucked it all up. Typical politics.
And then they all ended up dead anyway.
Yep.
Even some who weren't really that responsible for it.
Yeah, but can you take that chance if you're the new leader? They already killed one guy.
Nope. Got to get them. So,
got to get them all.
Yeah, Rome is very interesting. It really is. That's another reason to think about it. And there are so many parallels to today. There really are. There's a reason that gets brought up a lot in comparison to modern America. The fall of Rome, and people tell you all the time, we're in the collapse of the empire. That's what they're talking about is how Rome fell. And Rome basically fell because of the people in charge just getting greedier and greedier for power.
Yeah, they didn't maintain infrastructure or defense. They started pissing off their allies. Anybody that hasn't read The Decline and Fall of Rome by Gibbons, it really needs to. Really interesting work. It's long, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about Rome for an inherently long time.
I mean, we're men. We're supposed to.
Apparently we're supposed to think about it a lot more often.
I do. I find that more fascinating than some of the shit that I was forced to learn in school. We got very cursory Rome education. For some reason, they thought I needed to know about Egypt, which there's some interesting stuff there. But if you're talking about, what's relevant to us today, Rome's probably a lot more important.
Probably, but Egypt had the cool animal-headed gods.
It did indeed, and Cleopatra ties in, so Rome and Egypt kind of go together there eventually.
Yeah.
Cleopatra just putting out for all the leaders of Rome.
Yeah. She was a little Greek hussy.
It's pretty fucked up that there's probably a little Julius Caesar out there, a whole family descendancy of that, who will never know that they were related to him.
Right.
Because that bitch hid the kid until her and Mark got together, and then she's like, now I'll have kids with this other Roman dude. Did they ever have kids?
I don't think so.
Nah, she just put out a lot. She was a dirty bitch, honestly.
Well, she's going Greek.
I will fuck whoever can help me out. How womanly.
Or more specifically, Macon Macedonian.
Yeah, that's fair, but she was a leader of Egypt at the time.
Yeah, but she wasn't really Egyptian.
Which, how she came to be the leader is also a very interesting story for another time.
Yeah. The Kamala Harris method? What?
Yes. The history of Rome in that area, it really is fascinating. I'm not a big fan of the Greek history, though. I find that a lot more boring. Even though there's a lot more butt sex involved, but it's two guys, so it's not as interesting.
Yeah, it tends to be a little bit more on the gay side.
Yeah.
There's a lot of interesting stuff that came out of the Mediterranean. It is kind of the cradle of civilization.
Yeah.
I wish we had learned more about Genghis Khan in school, because I think that's actually pretty important stuff, especially because how many people are descended from that guy.
Real quick, Mighty Balzac, thank you. Biggest hoe, Kamala or Cleopatra? We're gonna let the audience vote. Give me a 1 for Kamala, a 2 for Cleo. Jack, what say you?
Just based on what we know, probably Cleopatra, but I think it's pretty even.
I would say 100%. I mean, Kamala just blew her way to the top. That we know. She hasn't, fucked any leaders from another country to get ahead. Fuck some other guy to kill her brother so she can get the throne. Yeah, I still got to go with Cleopatra.
Omar?
What's that?
Was she Ilhan Omar?
Close. You notice that Ilhan always has her hair up, and if you look at the silhouette, it kind of looks like some of the silhouettes we've seen of Cleopatra.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, yeah, Cleo definitely. I mean, Kamala's an American Cleopatra, and that is not a compliment. I don't care how beautiful Cleopatra was; she was a dirty bitch.
She probably had a lot of leg hair.
Oh God, probably. She probably smelled. It's hot in that region, Jack. They didn't have modern sanitary napkins and such. You could probably smell her coming.
Everybody back then stunk. But no, I mean, she probably, yeah, can you imagine how hairy she was? You ever seen Greek women with their legs not shaven?
No, I can't say that I have.
Ugh.
All right, Jack, this next one is just as superficial as everything else we talked about tonight. Dane Cook has gotten married.
51 I will continue not to care.
51-year-old Dane Cook married his 24-year-old bride, who he met when she was 17. They started dating when she was 18, I'm guessing on her birthday.
Yes, that's totally how that happened.
I don't care. It's not like I'm going to stay awake at night thinking that fucking Dane Cook. I hate Dane Cook for many other reasons besides the fact that he's fucking weird. I get the allure of a 24-year-old woman, Jack, but as somebody who's never liked women younger than himself, I just find it very creepy for a 51-year-old to be dating somebody who chronologically could be his granddaughter.
I, for one, have no problem with this because I just don't care. It's none of my business what these adults do.
They made it my business when they made it public.
That's fair.
I didn't go to his house and go, "Hey, Dane, did you marry a 24-year-old chick?" They put it out there in the public to be judged, and they're being judged. And I'm far less interested in him. He's just a creepy old man who likes young gash. That's all. Ooh, did I just say gash?
Yes, you did.
That's nasty. I'm sorry, guys. He likes younger vagina.
He likes young winking eyes.
I am more curious about her. She's a pretty girl.
Yeah, she likes money, I bet.
It's either got to be money or daddy issues. And somebody said it could be both, but I mean, it could be, but one of them has to outweigh the other.
Yeah. I'm okay with the chick with daddy issues.
I know you are. Unless it's the daddy hole girl.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty weird, mostly because of the interactions with her actual father. But yeah, it's daddy issues is kind of my specialty.
Sure.
So, I mean, I'm a little biased, I suppose, but she's not even Asian.
I think there's a third possibility that nobody ever talks about in these situations.
She's a sex slave?
No, and I brought it up on Twitter. What if, instead of it being a daddy issue or a gold digging issue, right? Maybe she just really likes wrinkled balls. And men her age
Oh.
just don't have wrinkly enough balls yet.
She likes them hanging down low and
Yeah,
flopping around.
if he doesn't have to wipe them after he sits on the toilet, then she's not interested.
Yeah, she's like a boxer. She just wants to work on the bag, so to speak.
Yeah, speed bag. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But with her tongue.
Oh,
Maybe she
maybe.
maybe she has a white pubic hair fetish.
Oh, it could be. It could be she just likes the way the scrotum feels when it bounces against her butthole while they're getting plowed.
Yeah, when it can touch her butt and her knees at the same time, it's just comforting.
Yeah.
Lovely visual, monkey. That's what you're here for, isn't it? There are some people out there calling him a pedophile for this. Like, stop it.
No.
This is not pedophilia. It's an old man with money who got his hands on a young chick with daddy issues and who likes money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a large percentage of the women I know.
I'm guessing he drove through Miami one night.
Yeah. It should be that difficult to find somebody like that. Do you like money? Will you overlook the fact that I'm old and wrinkly if I have enough money? Cool. Get in. We're going to have an adventure.
Do you judge these not this one necessarily, but the relationships, whether it's I really judge young men who end up banging like grandmas.
Yeah.
You're like 20 and you're banging a 65-year-old lady. That's weird.
That's usually some weird mommy issues or grandma issues, or you're just a gigolo.
If that's even worse. If you're an adult, I don't give a shit what you do, but I will judge you. So that's where I'm coming from here. Just for the record, I judge people, and I'm not ashamed of judging people. Is more important.
Yeah, that's fair. No,
But we're
I think societally we're more inclined to be accepting of an older man with a younger girl.
We definitely are, and because it's more normal to see.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, it's just kind of weird for a guy to be like, "Ooh, I hope her titties aren't full." I hope it looks like my socks when I throw them on the floor.
I like them down around their belly button.
I like a deflated banana.
Uh,
I'm gonna start coughing. Anyhow, yeah. Look out for mirrors. No, I know I'm an old man, and if some 20-year-old hot thing like, oh, I'd be like, sweetheart, go make up with your dad.
I think he was talking about the younger man with the older lady kind of fetish.
I don't like him that much older. I like him a couple years older than me, Jack.
Mm-hmm. How old are you? Yeah.
I'm 48.
Yeah. You like him old.
The number goes up as I get older.
Yeah. Soon you'll be like, look at that walker. That's pretty styling.
I probably will be, man. I'll be in the old folk home looking like, ooh, man, those polyester pink pants, you are rocking them.
I really like the way you're wearing those Depends today. Ugh.
I just cannot actually find myself turned on by younger women.
Something wrong with you.
They even women my old age or my own age is like, oh, you're kind of young, ain't you? Shouldn't you be with a guy your own age and not? I just see myself as much older than I am, Jack.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. I prefer women a little younger than me. I go by the half your age plus 7 rule.
Look, I am 48. I won't say how old my daughter is, but there's a smaller difference in age between me and my daughter than Dane Cook and his new bride. I could not date somebody my daughter's age because I have a daughter that age, so she looks like a kid to me. You know what I mean?
I guess that makes sense. I don't have kids.
You don't have kids. So, and I wonder for the dads in chat who have daughters, did that happen to you? And again, I've always liked older women anyway, but once I had a daughter, I'm like, she has 18-year-old friend, like, oh, they're cute. There's nothing sexy about them. They're cute. They're kids. I don't know. I can't. Ugh. Old men, stop banging little girls. It's weird.
She's 24, dude. She's not a little girl.
She could be his granddaughter. That's a little girl compared to him.
No, she could be his daughter, but I don't think granddaughter. He's only 51.
51, yes. So, if he was, let's say, I don't know, someone like me who had sex early in life, absolutely, he could. It could work out. It'd have to be really early, but chronologically, it could happen.
It'd be difficult. Yeah, I don't know. Look, she's in her mid-20s. She's a grown up. She should be able to take that responsibility. We're always talking about how these kids need to fucking grow up. So
I didn't say it should be illegal. I said old men should stop doing it because it's creepy.
Oh no, I'm totally okay with this. I really don't care. And they were dating for a long time when she was legal. So
yeah, they totally weren't dating when she was 17.
No, that'd be weird.
They just met then. Wink, wink. Anyway, the thing that really did bother me about this was how many people were like, pedophile. Stop it. Stop ruining that word.
Yeah, he's not a pedophile just because he's marrying. He married her, for God's sake.
Yeah.
It's not like Leonardo DiCaprio where she hits the expiration date.
Well, I mean, in fairness, Woody Allen married Sung Yi or whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah, that was a little bit creepier because that was his adopted actual daughter. And Woody Allen's a weirdo anyway.
Wait. Who grew up in their house? It's not like he met her when she was 17 or 18. No.
Yeah, she was like 13 when they adopted her.
Yeah, he helped raise this child. That fucking weirdo.
That's fucking weird. But this isn't that. This is just Dane Cook, who's a fucking annoying weirdo anyway that I don't give a shit about. And I think this is a non-story. So, I mean, I don't like the guy, but I don't care about this. He married an adult. Ooh, news at 11.
The story for me here is more like I said, the particulars of who it is, I don't give a shit about. Other than fuck Dane Cook. That guy has helped ruin what comedy is today.
Yeah.
But the idea of it and everything, I am curious about things like that. I am curious what draws and we all know the whole idea of, the daddy issues and stuff. But what draws a woman to be, you don't really see that with guys where it's like just, even me, except for outside of joking about really old women, 2 or 3 years older than me is pretty much my limit, Jack. You don't see most guys going, "Ooh, grandma, I want to pound that."
Yeah, they usually have some sort of weird fetish.
Yeah.
Like Emmanuel Macron marrying his teacher who's like 25 years older than him.
And if sociology was practiced as it actually should be, this would be a great sociological question.
Yeah. It's probably something to do with fertility and how we're wired. I don't know.
He's just the old chief and that helps propagate her children. Put them in a good position to succeed in life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And you don't really get that on the other side because actually the older woman makes it harder to propagate the species.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Blue gumballs and probably doesn't have as much stability or money.
If she's even got gumballs left.
Yeah, they're like those sad abandoned gumball machines that you see where all the colors are faded and they look like they're like marbles.
There's a gumball stuck to the side where it had gotten humid one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I find these kind of things just with human interaction incredibly interesting. And not from any kind of real academic point, just from somebody who likes watching people.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching people interact and seeing how things play out because people are actually pretty predictable in most instances. Everybody likes to think we're so unique, and most of us still respond the same if we're put in certain situations. But we all like to, why do we have such a desperate need to be unique but still, one of the group?
I think there's a certain amount of herd mentality that's survival based. You need a group of people to take down the mammoth.
Sure.
And safety in numbers. But the desire to be an individual and unique is, I think, largely cultural. We want something special about us, but at the same time, I think culture plays a big part of that because you don't see that in a lot of overseas countries. They're more communal based.
Is this you coming out as a peeping Tom? No. Most people you run into on the street, you don't really want to see naked.
Yeah, they're potato people.
You might want to look at the giblets and stuff, but other than that, you don't want it. It just ruins it. It's like they look like the Pillsbury Doughboy with a vagina. Nah.
Yeah, let's face it. Your average person is very average.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not particularly attractive.
No, I like seeing people on dates. That's my favorite to run into out in the real world. An actual honest to God date. You don't see them as much anymore. But or it's in smaller towns, it's a lot harder to find, Jack.
Yeah.
So much has been lost where people are doing their dating basically by Zoom these days. I swiped left and then we had coffee.
Yeah, or you're just hanging out.
Just chilling. No, but an actual date where they're just getting to learn each other and having to make small talk is so annoying. I don't do small talk, Jack. I can't. It's boring.
It's kind of its own art form. And,
it's boring.
It's not very fun.
Yeah.
I know people that are great at it, and they're really annoying people, and they always come off as fake.
I see people, especially on like YouTube, if you watch videos of people who go out and do the real world kind of stuff, the in real life stuff, and they're very, very at ease with everybody with bullshit small talk. I can't do that shit. Not unless I'm making jokes. If I'm making jokes to try to make people laugh, that's one thing. But like, how's the weather today? Look up, dumb fuck. Why are you bothering me with this? I got shit to do. If you want to talk about something real, by all means, let's talk about something. You want to discuss geopolitics? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. You want to talk about the game? I can do that. You want to talk about, hey, how's work going? Are you going to come fix any of my problems? Leave me alone. I'm trying to have dinner.
You ever just purposely dump your purse out on someone just to see what they do when they start trying to have small, like, so, hey, how you been? And you just tell them all your problems, and they're super uncomfortable. Oh, it's a lot of fun.
I will have to try that. You know what I honestly do? I walk away. Most of the times I run into this, I'm with my wife anyway, and she's far nicer than I am. And so if I say hi to you and all right, and I got shit to do, my wife will stand there and chat.
Yeah. Women are way more into the chatty stuff.
I just leave. I wander off. Like, I'll be down here. It's nice to see you, but I ain't got really anything to say to you.
No, you got to look them straight in the eye and be like, look, my sciatica's acting up. I got this bunion that won't fucking quit. I think I have a spur heel, and I'm pretty sure that my neighbor guy is trying to bang my wife.
I got a hemorrhoid that is bleeding as we speak.
Yeah, it's just so fucking bad. Yeah, you just got to do shit like that. Just make something up. It's a lot of fun because people get super uncomfortable. They're expecting like, oh, not bad. How are you? And then you dump that on them. They're like, processing.
That's why I don't ask. I know people who do that for real.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. When you're joking around, though, you can have a lot of fun with it.
My stepmother, may God rest her soul, who I love, Jack. She was one of those people. She ran into a friend of mine she barely knew in the store one day and started talking to her about my father's personal medical issues.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Old people love doing that shit. The older you get, the more you talk about medical problems and your relatives' medical problems.
Spudgun says the Bengals managed to win one. I didn't watch very much of I watch football by just watching the highlight reels because it's actually a much better way to watch the game. I didn't see the Bengals one. I did finally watch the Dolphins Broncos game, and holy shit, that game was 70-20.
Ooh, wow.
The NFL record for points scored by a single team is from 1966 when a team scored 72 points. And the Dolphins could have broke that probably by quite a bit, but they put in their second stringers and still were scoring a lot of touchdowns.
Wow.
They actually took it easy on them, and they just kept scoring on accident, basically. But yeah, the Dolphins look good this year. What's his name? Number 10 used to be with the Chiefs. Fuck. Their wide receiver. That guy's fucking amazing.
Wide receiver.
That kid, I hope he has a long career. He's been taking some big ass hits though with some of the catches he takes, and he's a little guy, Jack. Muggy's Chargers actually won a game. Yes, they did, and they tried very, very hard to lose that game. I'm finally getting on board with the notion of firing this coach out. Hey, Tyreek Hill, thank you so much. That's 10 for the Dolphins. But the Chargers coach needs to be fired. You're up by 4. You're on your own 24-yard line. There's less than 2 minutes in the game, and you go for it on 4th and 1 instead of kicking the ball away, you dumb fuck. In a game where you've only had 30 rushing yards the whole time, you run a fucking running play up the gut? What the fuck were you thinking? For those of you who don't know football, you have no idea what I just said. Don't worry, it's bad. I promise you it's bad. And if he made it, people be like, ooh, he made it. Good call. No, it was a bad call, even if they had made that first down, because what a fucking retarded play. Anyhow, so Jack, we've been talking for 2 hours.
Yeah.
The issue I told you about yesterday is going real bad right now, so I'm going to wrap up.
Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. And don't worry, that thing I just said, it's nothing to worry about. It's just something I don't want to talk about on stream. It's not bowel related or anything, I promise. And that did. It kind of made it sound like, oh, Jack, I got the shits. I really don't want to talk about it on the stream. I would tell you guys that one. I got the blithering shits. I just like saying blithering shits.
Ew.
I think it's fun. I think it makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah, I could see that.
And you were just, talking about how you like to make people uncomfortable. That's how I do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just walk into a room and say the 2 words blithering shits and see what happens.
Yeah.
Just like,
you really want to mess with people at like a dinner party. And you can tell someone's like trying to listen in on your conversation. Just start talking about that lady with 2 buttholes.
Oh, that's a great one, yeah. Or the Siamese twins. What are their names? Abby and
Brittany.
Yeah. Because that's another one that does fascinate me.
Oh yeah, but that's from a totally different kind of perspective. Like you saw their music video, right?
I have not.
Oh my god, it's at the end of one of the TLC specials they did.
Oh,
the one wanted to be a country singer, so they made a music video.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, but I think I showed it to you once, but it's real hard to find now.
Yeah, because I think look, guys, we're not going to get into Abby and Brittany tonight, but I think one time when we were talking about them, you brought that up and showed it to me. I think you're right. No, I'm not playing a game tonight, guys. My eye is really acting up, and I'm having trouble breathing anyway, so I'm taking this one off. Thanks for joining us, though. You guys are awesome. You guys listen to us talk about nothing for 2 hours. That's fucking awesome. I hope it was still entertaining to you guys.
It's like a Seinfeld marathon.
It kind of is, yeah. I like conversation, Jack. I always have. Not small talk. Actual conversation's fun.
Well, we get distracted pretty easily, so there we are.
Yeah, we should do one of these where we have like 2 other people on with us, so it's just like a round table and I don't have to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll work on my producing in the background. No, oh God, I got to stop laughing. I don't know if you can hear it. Every so often I'll go, yeah. I have a sinus thing going. I've been mentioning it for days, and it moved into my lungs this morning. Yeah, it'll get better. I can't use the Flonase anymore, and my sinuses, as soon as I stopped, were like, "All right, bitch, it's on."
Now's our chance.
Anyhow, so yeah, guys, just taking the rest of the night off. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing, and we really, really do appreciate everything you do for us. I know we say it every time. We mean it every time.
Yep.
Jack, anything you want to show?
Now today, as always, thank you for the donos. It is greatly appreciated. Your tips are what keep the show going, and you guys are awesome.
Monk has the Taco Bell squirts. If that were true, there would have been several times throughout this where I had to pause and Jack would have had to run the show for 15 minutes.
Right.
You can't just sit. I mean, I guess you could. It'd be like sitting in a car with a seat warmer on.
Ugh.
The first time we got a car with a seat warmer, my wife's like, sit in the seat. I didn't know about it. Her dad gave her his old van, which was a year old because he needed a new one.
Mhm.
And he's got money to burn, so he just gave her a brand new van. And she gets home. It was one of the trips she went to Virginia that I didn't go on. And she gets home and she has this new van. Oh, this is cool. She goes, sit in the seat. Like, that's weird, but okay. I thought she was just like, feel how comfortable it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and like, did I just shit myself?
I know, that's exactly what I would think too.
It's a weird feeling and it takes a while to get used to. But now when I get into, even on like a semi-warm day, I'm like, kind of want to warm up my butthole.
Yeah, no, I think that's a trap. You're just gonna end up accidentally shitting yourself, or your butt's
Ooh.
gonna go numb.
I wonder what happens if you like pee in one of those seats. Can you get electrocuted?
Probably.
Ugh, that's a horrifying thought.
Yeah, it's a horrible way to die.
Or, you know, it comes on and it feels like you pooped and suddenly you do and you get electrocuted by your own diarrhea.
Yeah, that would be a bad way to go.
That's a bad way to go. But you'd be talked about.
Yeah, not in a good way. They'd be like, "Did you hear about Frank? How he died from shitting himself?" Oh my god, that's
Me and
a
Elvis.
horrible legacy.
Me and Elvis died by shitting ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming and hanging out. Jack, my friend, seriously, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here. Yeah, it'd be like Jimi Hendrix drowning in his own vomit.
I feel like that's a little cooler.
No, it's not. It's just the same stuff from a different end.
No, but you party hard for that. You don't party hard for diarrhea.
I guarantee you Elvis partied pretty fucking hard.
Man, partying hard's not what gave him diarrhea. It was all the
No,
fucking
he
food
was
he shoved
pooping
in
a
his
brick.
gullet. Anyhow,
Straining.
we can't. We've been talking about poop for like. Why do you guys watch this stuff? Thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Thank you for everything you do. We love you. Take care of yourselves, and we will see you all on the next one.
Bye, everybody.
I can barely breathe, but I'm singing you a song. You better love me for it, or I'll smack you with my dong.